Hi, my name is Jenny, and I'll be talking about the progress I made on the Collective Narrative project this quarter. It's difficult for individuals to find connectedness in communities online and build a collective narrative based on similar experiences. For example, even if students in the same class are connected online, it's difficult for them to get a sense that they're going through the same journey as each other, as they don't get a chance to talk in class. This is mainly due to two reasons. First, the current solution for connecting online is through social media, but because social media relies on voluntary sharing, users need to self-discern what to post, leaving out many ignored but also share-worthy moments. Second, existing platforms hardly recreate togetherness and build a narrative together because they often emphasize individual contents and less so the collective aspect of how different contents piece together. People usually choose to only share the shiniest aspects of their lives on social media feeds, which makes them less authentic, less relatable, and harder for people to connect to. These shiny posts create a standard for share-worthy posts, so everyday experiences which are relatable are not often shared with the community, which could lead to more connectedness. Social media platforms also implemented additional mechanisms to tie community sharings together, like Facebook groups, Snapchat's theme filters, and Twitter hashtags, to name a few. While these grouping mechanisms help to create a certain theme, the posts within the theme are still separate events and are very individualized within the community, so it's still difficult to make connections between the posts to evoke a sense of connectedness. To address these obstacles in sharing and connecting stories, Collective Narrative provides a context-aware solution that would prompt community members who are in context relevant to the story theme, encourage them to share, and leverage the system's knowledge to connect individual contributions together in the final artifact. This is not as straightforward because you need to find ways to organize individual contributions together in a way that helps people feel more connected to the other users. My contribution then was to identify what risks were still present in the previous prototype and how I could reduce that risk and improve the prototype to have the desired outcome of users, which was for them to have a stronger sense of community through seeing the relatable experiences and the diverse ways that people go through the same experience. I thought that having just two choices of woo and boo was not diverse enough to see the different emotions that people go through, so one of the things I wanted to focus on was having more diverse options for the emotions. Also, I thought that just having the posts ordered chronologically did not really create a narrative, and I thought that having a clearer narrative structure would help induce the users feel connected, as they would be able to view all the posts as a part of a journey rather than just individual contributions listed in chronological order. After determining these risks, my next contribution was to tweak the current design to align with the new goals I had set for myself. Then I implemented this change, and I'm currently in the middle of running a pilot test to get feedback on this version of prototype. My design prompts users at locations related to a certain event with context-aware prompts to give users more of an incentive to post and form a collective narrative from posts to allow users to feel a sense of togetherness from going through the same journey together and diversity within a community through viewing the different ways people experience the same journey. The users are prompted at locations tied to the event to post a text response with an image and an emoji to show how they feel. The prompt encourages the users to share about their journey. For my current test, using the submission of the DTR final deliverable as the experience, the related locations are libraries, cafes, as those are the areas where I would expect people to work on their deliverables. You can see an example of how someone's prompted with the notification and some examples of the prompts here. Prompts differ based on location and also based on where the user is in their journey to match the different motivations the users may have for being at the same location at different times. You can see examples of prompts that differ based on time. So the first set of prompts here show what would be prompted before the deliverables are due and what will be prompted after the deliverables are due. The second set of prompts show how the prompts differ based on location. So the prompts you can see on the left are when you're in the library, the prompts on the right are when you're at a cafe. This way, the diverse perspectives can be reflected. Organizing posts chronologically with a clear beginning, middle, and end structure also that forms a narrative mimics people actually going through an experience together in person, allowing them to build the collective narrative online. By grouping posts also based on their emotions the user provided, the users are able to relate with other users that felt similar things as them, but also view the different emotions others went through, to view the diverse perspectives of the community as well. So the way the app works is that when you're at a location that's related to the experience you're a part of, which is hard-coded, you will get a notification on your phone that will prompt you with related prompts. For example, if we consider my current testing experience, which is again based around the DTR deliverable, users will be prompted at libraries or at cafes, which are identified using a Yelp API. As these are locations that I assume will be areas where users will be working on their deliverables, the app will remind them to participate in this experience at relevant times. The prompts differ not only based on where they are location-wise, but also where they are in their journey, which is currently determined by the day of the week since their experience is only 3 days long. Depending on this, the users will get a different set of prompts. This is useful in organizing the posts into narratives afterwards. From our current pilot testing that's going on right now, there are 5 users that have all participated in my status update. They also need to be iPhone users since this is an iOS app. They will use my application for 3 days, from Monday to Wednesday. The experience that they'll be focusing on is the DTR final deliverable, which is due on Tuesday. So the Monday is the before, the Tuesday being the during, and the Wednesday the after part of the narrative. After participating in the study, I will send out a Google form to receive some feedback regarding my application and their experience when using the application. All that the users need to do during the study is to reply to prompts when they get a notification on their phone. There are a couple of things I want to get feedback on. First, I want to get feedback on whether they felt they were able to feel relatable to the posts that were in the similar column and whether they felt the diverse perspectives were reflected in the different column. I also want to get feedback on whether they felt like a narrative was in fact being creative through the separation of the before, during, and after, and if they felt like this feature actually helped them feel more connected to their community and mimicked actually going through this experience together in person. Third, I want to find out whether this new version of the prototype is an improvement from the prototype design that was shown during my status update, and how they would compare the 2 different versions. Lastly, I want to get feedback on the user experience as well. If they felt the notification and the prompts did actually make it easy for them to participate, and if there was anything confusing while they were using the application to participate in the experiences. All of this information will be in a Google form, which will be sent out tomorrow on Wednesday after the study is over. I think the obvious immediate next steps is to finish this pilot study and receive the feedback from the users. Then the next steps will be clear on how to make improvements from the areas the users claimed it was not helpful in achieving my desired outcome, which again is the feeling of connectedness within a community by looking at relatable posts as well as the diverse ways people go through the same experience. Another next step is for this application to be able to categorize the posts by location rather than in addition to categorizing by emotions to create another way for users to feel connectedness and view the diverse ways of going through an experience. Also, another next step that is a little bit more further down the line would be to have the application be able to identify experiences and the necessary locations related to the experience so that every time there's a new experience, they don't need to be hard-coded every time. From this research this quarter, I think I was able to see a new area that social media could be applied to and how the current social media platforms we use right now do not really create this connected, close community that it paints. If I receive positive feedback from this testing about the narrative structure, I think that this could provide some key insights into how we could make improvements or create new social media that puts more emphasis on the connection within a community and sharing common experiences.